guys, I weighed myself yesterday and I wanted to share a little bit about this. I haven't weighed myself since probably March when I had lost a bunch of weight from having a really bad flu and the doctor just needed to know how much weight I lost. So I hadn't weighed myself in forever. And when I did yesterday, it was because Jacob needed a medication and we needed to know how much he weighed. He wasn't going to stand on the scale by himself, so we did the thing where I weighed myself with him and then took him off, weighed myself, subtracted, and figured out how much he weighs. So this really interesting thing happened. Well, it's interesting to me. That thing is that I did not care about the number. I was standing on the scale to find out my son's weight, and I knew that whatever the number was, I just didn't care. And it was probably one of the first times in my life that I can honestly say I stepped on the scale and did not care about the number. Now, I have very much stopped caring about the scale in general, but I would be lying if I said when I do step on a scale, I don't usually have some kind of relationship with it. We all have a relationship with the scale. So yesterday when I stepped on the scale, I just didn't care. I wrote the number down so that I could subtract it, and it wasn't until later where I thought about it and I was like, I didn't have an expectation for what I was hoping that scale would say. I didn't have any intention of changing my behavior one way or another based on what the scale said. I didn't change my behavior one way or another based on what the scale said. I weighed myself at night, which, oh my God, I never would have done when I was a scale junkie back in the day. It was always first thing in the morning, buck naked, before breakfast, after a bowel movement, right? That's the time to do it. But it just didn't matter. I needed to get my kids' weight. So I just had this experience of squishing all of those preconceived ideas about what the scale tells me about myself, and I just used it for my relation to gravity and figuring out my kids' relation to gravity. So I just wanted to share this message because we're going into the holidays and then January is going to hit when everybody's thinking about their weight, and there's a lot of talk about weight loss, and I want to get ahead of it by helping you understand the difference between weight and health, because I can honestly tell you that my weight yesterday had no bearing on how I felt. I felt run down. I have been fighting a little bit of a cold. Jacob had pink eye, a cold, and pneumonia this week. So we've been on like top stress, low sleep, low work. It's just been a bit of a get it done kind of week. And the scale didn't tell me any of that. The scale didn't reflect any of that. All it did was tell me my relationship to gravity. So I didn't sleep any better or any worse. I didn't have any more or less anxiety based on the scale. I didn't learn anything about myself or give myself any information that I can actually work with in order to improve my health and the way I feel. I didn't gain any insight from that scale. So I encourage you in 2020 to take the scale out of it. So if you feel like, medically or for your health overall, weight loss is important, it's not to say you should never lose weight, because there are times when it's relevant or it would feel better or what have you. The point is that you can be changing your weight, whether it's gaining or losing or even staying the same. You can do that independently of restriction and dieting and depletion. Because what tends to happen is we go on these weight loss protocols and they deplete us. We are restricting ourselves from things. We're removing things from the diet. We are focusing on that number over anything else versus treating our bodies well, giving ourselves the fuel that we need to be well, prioritizing feeling great, prioritizing our mood, because mood is one of the big things that goes down when you start losing weight. Even though you might feel better about yourself, like your self-esteem might feel like it's going up because you equate your weight with self-esteem, your actual mood overall likely will not be improving. Because when we're restricting, we tend to be missing a lot of the nutrients that we need to be well. So if you have any ideas about how you want to lose weight in the new year, I would love to chat with you just to help you frame your wellness in a way that helps you hit all the goals, all the intentions, all the things you want to feel, but also doesn't sacrifice things. I don't want you to sacrifice your wellness in order to hit this number. So if you are interested in skipping the scale in 2020 and just really making a big move for your health, let's talk. Let me give you a couple tips, see what I can do to just kind of move you in that mental direction, because it really is a mental game, let's be honest, the mental game. But I would love to help you just kind of move in that direction, just through a couple conversations. Maybe we can just chat on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram DMs, and just kind of get you in that place over the next couple weeks where you're feeling like 2020 is not going to be all about the scale. Are you with me? Hit me up in the comments or send me a DM, and let's start moving your mental wellness this way. Talk to you soon.